But you certainly can't miss him. I tell you what, he's looking brightly coloured this evening as Lucas, and that's the man who's coaching him. He's also the Davis Cup captain, Tibor Toth, former coach as well of Dominic Herbati.
The one thing that you've got to do when you come dressed like Lucas is to be able to back that outfit up, isn't it? It's no good playing poorly and losing in 38 minutes.
Yeah, you don't want to be playing like a girl wearing those colours either. So hopefully he's going to bring his best tennis to the fore. But the shoes remind me of my kids' shoes. You know the shoes that when you walk, they kind of light up.
Yes.
There they are.
He needs to light up the court with his phenomenal footwork this evening to stand any chance at all. But certainly making sure that there's nowhere to hide for him out on centre court this evening.
I guess for nighttime tennis, those clothes probably are appropriate, but you don't want to be wearing that down in Australia in the searing heat if you're playing a midday match.
With his win at last year's US Open, he became the 7th player.
How far is Nadal from his best at this early stage in the season? Are we talking 60-65% at the moment, or are we only talking a need to fine-tune his game? Is he already up in the 90s?
Yeah, I'd probably say that. It's probably between 85 and 90%, but in all fairness, you know as well as I do, these guys never play 100%. They probably played out of, what did he play, 71 matches last year. Out of those, he probably played maybe 10 double figures, 10 to 12, 15 matches at his very best. For the rest of the time, you know, he's playing at about 85%, 90%, sometimes 75%. But what he's able to do is when he plays at 75%, he's still able to get the win, and that's what separates him from other players.
And then what he's also able to do is recognise when he needs to then put his foot to the floor and play a little better. And of course he has that in reserve. Not many of us have that ability. And that's what separates the truly great competitors from the very good ones. The mistake that a lot of players make is trying to play their very best tennis every time they step out onto the match court. And that's when you start making a lot of unforced errors. You gift your opponents a lead and you're in trouble.
Yeah, but in all fairness, some of the guys out there have to play their best tennis in order to get the win. So it was interesting chatting to Miles McClagan a little earlier today, saying, you know, when he was working with Andy Murray, they could, when you're working with a top guy, sometimes you can afford to ease your way into a tournament. But sometimes when you're working with a lower ranked player, you have to come ready for the first match, first tournament of the year, ready to play your best tennis. You don't have that luxury of easing yourself into a tournament.
Especially when you're playing in the Masters Series events with no free lunches there. So the players are ready for action. Top seed and current world #1, Rafael Nadal. He's playing his second match of the week. A little rusty. He beat Carol Beck in the first round, 3-love, though of course he was never really tested. Lacko had a good win over Per Riba from Spain initially, winning that one 5-7, 7-6, 9-7 at the tiebreak there, and 7-6 in the deciding set, 7-4 on that occasion. So he had a tight match. That'll give him confidence, the fact that he was able to come through it. But he'll know this evening that he's got to play his very best tennis to stand any chance at all of beating the top seed. Lacko won the toss and elected to receive, so it'll be Nadal to get us on.
love.
It's a very clean striker of the ball is Lacko, giving Nadal a taste early on. if you were worried about how Nadal was hitting the ball.
40, 50.
Indication for you.
And this is the shot that he was practicing time and time again this afternoon. The one where he was just inside the baseline, and then he was hitting through the ball. So still got a little spin on it, but trying to generate more pace. He's done his homework. Just wanted to have a look at the ball mark before deciding whether it's a challenge or not.
What's your take on that? Should they be allowed to have a look at the ball mark or not?
No, I don't think so. I think as soon as you hit the serve and it's been called out, you decide then, instantly, whether you're going to challenge or not. No, it's a lovely shot.
40, 30.
Not a bad game as far as Lacko is concerned, but Nadal throwing down the gauntlet very early on.
First game.
No kidding. Check this out, folks. This is what it's like. Look how much he lays his wrist back there. That's where he gets all that spin and power from, the loose wrist. We see Federer very similar in laying his wrist back when he executes that forehand.
That's what I like about Nadal. You know, he played his first match, he won comfortably, 3-0, but he wasn't happy. Straight back out on the practice court, working on his game in order to try and add to that tally of Grand Slam titles that he has now. He's so focused every day on trying to improve his game, not just maintain the high level of tennis that he plays.
That's ridiculous. And we're only in the second game of this match. Lacko to be wondering what he has to do in order to outmaneuver Nadal.
Well, that's when it's really important, isn't it, to not get too overawed. I mean, it's very easy to do when Nadal starts striking a ball as well as he has this evening, but you've just got to keep plugging away on serve and try and hold any way you can, really, to stay with Nadal as long as you possibly can. Well, Nadal's really let himself down there because the previous 7 points were all won with winners. That's why I think a nice little wry smile from Lacko.
Not commentating on this rubbish anymore. Watch a guy hit the ball like that. You wonder how's the guy ranked 89 in the world.
And I was just thinking as well, it's actually probably the best thing that could happen to Lacko to play Nadal this early in the season, because if he plays really well, it's a nice bonus. But if he doesn't, and Nadal beats him thoroughly, it can give you a nice kick up the backside early on in the season.
Yeah. But I guess there, folks, you can see perhaps why an easy shot, you've got to make the most of those. Sometimes, you know, I tell parents of people who want to know their opinion of their kids. For me, it's very often important to see how a player handles the easy shot, because so often they're so much more focused when they're playing tough shots. It's when the easy shot come by, can you always put it away? Can you make the most of the situation? Dispose of the point there and then. That's better.
Well, that's the shot that can hurt Nadal. Hard deep to the forehand. But it's one thing to know, it's another to have the ability to execute a game plan whereby you can use that pattern of play time and time again.
Pretty good game from Lacko after that first point, that first forehand of Nadal.
Yeah, it's so crucial, isn't it? We know likes of Nadal, Federer, such good front runners, so you give them a lead, you've got no chance. So if you can hold your first couple of service games, get to 3-all, 4-all, you're in with a shout.
Just does your state of mind so much good.
Nice pace on that, 206k. There was a time when he'd struggled to get it over 200. Not anymore. Big improvements in the last quarter of the 2010 season in that regard.
What I'm seeing from Lacko.
It's very similar, isn't it, to the Cutinelli-Federer match, where Cutinelli knew he had to go for each and every shot when he got the opportunity. It's a similar scenario here for Lacko. There's no holding back. It's a very simple game plan. You just got to play your very best tennis. Be fully committed to each shot. Sometimes it's a little easier play matches with that frame of mind. Don't really have to make that many decisions.